hello, beautiful people, beautiful people. How y'all doing today? As y'all kind of know, I have a bad habit of not having my phone charged, so I don't have that much charger. So I'm literally just doing a quick check-in, letting y'all know how things are going with me on this part of the globe for sure. So yes, hello, hello. So happy to be here on this wonderful Friday. Y'all know how I feel about Fridays. Even though I don't have a job, it's something about like a Friday that is just still very liberating for me. So, yes. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope y'all had a good week. I hope y'all had a good Easter weekend. Last weekend was Semana Santa, which is basically like a Holy Week here in Mexico. So essentially, a lot of the families here they get together, they do a lot of family activities, a lot of vacations, things like that. So last week it was like super packed, super crazy here in Mexico. I was like, okay, maybe I need to go back inside because it was just a lot of people here. Like my little taco spot on the corner, it was just packed. Like every day, I'm like, oh my gosh, like all these folks are here. So they also said, I did a little research too. They said that like Easter weekend is like one of the most like frequented weekends in Mexico because of course a lot of kids are like on spring break and things like that as well. So it's just pretty hectic, but nonetheless, it was still a good time. It was still a good week. Y'all know on Fridays I usually go and I go to my yogurt spot. I usually go get my food. But y'all, last week I went to go get food from my favorite spot and they was closed for the holidays. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I ended up trying this it's a jerk chicken food spot out here. Louise, hey, how you doing? I am doing good. Hold on, Louise. I'm about to talk about you too in like 2 seconds. Um, I got you in like 2 seconds because I wanted to call Louise out about something I didn't know about him. But yeah, y'all. So real quick, so I went and I tried this jerk chicken place, y'all. It was awful. It was awful. Like it was so disrespectful. Like to have the whole thing to be. I think the name of the place was like Jerk Chicken. Like just to be that simple and for the food to be that awful. Like one thing I really enjoy is Jamaican food, so I don't like you know it to just be just thrown in the trash like it was. It was awful. And it was expensive and it was in a touristy area. And I will say, like, I don't like eating food in touristy areas in general, like for any place, just because I feel like a lot of times the quality of food is compromised because they know people are coming in and out and there's not a lot of accountability on their ends, meaning it could be a hit or miss. Like sometimes the food is good, sometimes it's not. I just feel like the cares that they give is more so on like the production versus like the actual quality. But the food was really, really bad. I got the jerk chicken. It just was like basically some pieces of chicken that they took like some jerk seasoning and maybe like sprinkled a little bit on it. Awful. I got coleslaw. I'm really not a big fan of coleslaw, anyways, but I've had a couple of good coleslaws. There's a spot out in Houston that made me, question like maybe I do like coleslaw. Awful. And then I had some plantains. The plantains were awful. Like when I get sweet plantains, like I want them to genuinely be sweet. And they tasted like they were still pretty ripe. So it just was not good. The only thing that was good, I got a version strawberry daiquiri. It was probably the best daiquiri I've had out here because not daiquiri, pina colada. Oop, sorry, it was a pina colada, and that was good because all the other pina coladas here, I'm like, yeah, I do not live in Puerto Rico anymore because Puerto Rico, oh my goodness, their pina coladas are phenomenal, but here, not so much. They're like icy, watered down, just awful. So that was good. And then, y'all, the only other thing that was good was the garlic bread. The garlic bread was actually extremely tasty. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay. And I ordered another piece of garlic bread because the other pieces of food was trash. Like, I literally I ate maybe one of the plantains, and it was like a whole, like the presentation of it, it looked beautiful. It was just the food was trash. I was very disappointed. Louise says, honestly, very true. It's all for hype and none for the quality. Absolutely. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, this is just no for me. And the place I usually go to on Fridays, it is like the food is phenomenal. It's healthy. They have like vegan options and just healthier options in general. And it's good and I really enjoy it. But that experience was awful. I was like, I will never be going back here again. And from what I've heard, I think there's a couple of locations here in Playa for this jerk chicken place. It is a 1 out of 10, and the only reason they get the one is because the garlic bread was good. It was like these garlic bread rolls. I was like, this is good. Louise said a lot of these places, especially in touristy places, are all talk. They are all talk, but they don't walk the walk. Yeah, they talk the talk, they don't walk the walk. That is so true. Also, another thing that I have been like asking my friends. So y'all know another thing I enjoy doing living out here is going to different all-inclusive resorts. So I don't know if you guys know, but for some people, like they don't like to really support like the all-inclusive and things like that because they want to, support more locally. And I understand that as well. For me, I like to do a little combination of both. But with the day pass, you pay between, let's say, between like 40 on the low end. I'll say 50 on the low end. And then the higher end, you can pay up to like 160 for the day. They have like different packages. And you basically just have access to that resort for the day. So for the actual resort, sometimes you get like a food credit. So say if the resort pass was like $100, they might give you $40 towards food. Other day passes, you get everything included as though like you are staying there for the day. So I do like those. But one thing I'm realizing is just the food is just not that great at a lot of these resorts. And I was looking at an article earlier today, and they were talking about how a lot of these resorts are understaffed, especially when it comes to um, the cooks and things like that. So I feel like a lot of these resorts are definitely struggling on the food tip of things. So, and then I've been on cruises as well. So I kind of got a comparison from like cruises and all inclusive resorts. I do like the cruises they're kind of hit or miss though, too, as far as like which day of the week it is. Like sometimes the food is like really good. Other days I'm like, ooh. And a lot of times on the cruise ships, there's like different themes for the day of the week. So yeah, pretty much hit or miss. But I really enjoy food. And one thing I have realized being out here is like I cook a lot. Like I cook probably 4 to 5 times a week. And so I usually go out. I don't usually cook Friday evenings. I cook breakfast every single day. And it's more so like brunch. But I usually go out to eat for like dinner on Friday, and then Saturday I'll usually go grab like some tacos or something. But I found living out here that like just the diversity of food that you would, be used to in the US is definitely, they have the diversity here, but they don't have the flavors to match the diversity, right? So they have like an Italian spot, they have like Thai food, like I said, the Jamaican spot, but it's not good. It's just not good from my experience. However, the Mexican food, of course, like it's phenomenal. So I'm like, the only thing that I really can suggest to people coming here is Mexican food. We're in Mexico. There's a wide range of food. And I know a lot of people think that like, oh, Mexico tacos, oh, Mexico burritos, all, the different things you think of when you think of tacos. But a lot of the foods here in Mexico are regional. So like burritos are not really a thing in the Yucatan Peninsula area where I live. Burritos are more so the northern states. So, you may find a burrito here and there here, but they're not going to be necessarily that great. And even some people say that, like, oh, flour tacos are like American. No, 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 no. That's not true. Like, flour tacos also originated here in Mexico. It's just that the corn tacos have a longer history. But they're like flour tortillas are fire. Like the authentic ones out here are fire. Love, 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 love them. And I know you're not really supposed to be traveling with food and stuff, but there's a flour tortilla brand here. And I love Tortillas. It's Tortilla. It's Tia. I think it's Tia Tortillas. I don't know. I can't think of the name, but they're so good. But a lot of people, again, have a misconception that like flour tacos is like, oh, Americanized tacos. No, there are parts of Mexico where they are popular. They're more popular in the northern states of Mexico, but even here where I live, we have flour tacos. So it just depends on how I'm feeling for the day. I do like my corn tacos, but like I said, authentic homemade flour tortillas, phenomenal. Louise, you already know. Yes, homemade flour tortillas are fire. Yes, they are. Like I'm like, there's no comparison to like the tortillas that you have to buy in like a pack. So want to throw that out there for sure. Another thing. Okay, Louise, I'm calling you out. Okay, first of all, y'all don't be following me on. I know other folks on here don't be following me on my Instagram, but Louise is one of my friends on Instagram. And so I posted a post the other day because my little cousin called me out. She asked me for my Prime account information, and I gave her my email, like my real email, which is my first name, last name at hotmail.com. And my cousin, she really was like, I don't understand. Like, what is that? Is that like MySpace or something? And I was like, are you serious? But she was dead serious. She said she had never heard of Hotmail. She was familiar with Yahoo. I didn't even ask her about AOL because I'm assuming that was off of the books as well. But she really made me feel very ancient and I was confused. So Louise jumps on it. And Louise is like, hold on, but like I actually had a Hotmail account too. So shout out to Louise for being, much younger than me, but still like knowing what it is. So I appreciate, you not making me feel like super, super old. So Louise, I ended up clicking on your page. Now, if y'all have been rocking with me for a while, y'all already know Louise. Okay. So if y'all watching this on the playback, when I tell y'all, Louise, there was a point in time where Louise wasn't really singing as much, and he was wanting to get back into singing because he had mentioned it before. So we are familiar, like the community is familiar that Louise sings, but we've never heard him sing, right? Like this isn't a live platform where I'm like, okay, come up and sing or something. Y'all, I went to Louise' page and I was blown away. He has a phenomenal voice. Okay. Like, I was just really, really shocked. Like, you sound amazing, Louise. Like, please continue singing, continue like putting your voice out there for the world because I was just so excited. And I was just stalking your page and just like going through all your videos of you singing. I just wanted to throw that out there. I was going to write you a message on Instagram the other day, but I was like, I'm going to tell him about himself on this live because that was just too good for me. I was shocked. Okay. Louise said, LOL, my current and primary email is Hotmail. Okay, now that is funny, Louise. I am cracking up. But like I tell people, Hotmail is Microsoft. Like it might be an older platform, but they have kept themselves updated. So like you don't have to pay for, Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and things like that because it's already embedded into your Hotmail. And now, granted, I know, Google has Google Docs and everything like that. And granted, I have about 20 Gmail accounts as well. So it's not I don't have Gmail accounts, but I have literally had my Hotmail account since the third or fourth grade. My stepmom created the account. She created everybody's account in the household. So everybody has first name, last name. Try to go get an email now and use your first and last name. More than likely, it is not available. So I take pride in knowing that, I'm an OG. That's okay. And then Louise said, thank you. I appreciate your kind words. No, Louise, I was blown away. Like, it was phenomenal. I'm gonna have to find a way to make this platform live. I'm gonna have to go on another platform because you're gonna have to get on here and sing for us. I'm just saying, one day. But yeah, so y'all, I had met with this job recruiter lady because once I got let go from my health coaching position, they like put us in this program. I was like, well, I at least can figure out what they're talking about at the bare minimum. And the lady, she was much older than me. But when she was going through my resume, she was like, I think you should consider getting a Gmail account because Hotmail, it dates you. And I was like, what do you mean it dates me? She's like, yeah, it's pretty industry standard that people use Gmail. And so, yeah, I would just go ahead and create a Gmail account. Mind you, I have, like I said, like 20 Gmail accounts. That's just not my primary account. So I thought that was pretty funny that my cousin called me out about that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Another update. Your girl is coming up on 5 years since I have been dismissed from med school, and I am trying to decide if I'm going to make a video about it. I haven't really made a video talking about, like, being away from med school or anything like that recently, but I will say I just took on a contract with a company based in California, and I am going to be doing some pre med advising, y'all. So I'm excited about that. I'm like, I pretty much do it on the low, anyways. I do have people that still hit me up in my email from my dismissed from med school video. So I do help out when I can, but I'm really excited to be working with this company. It's just going to be, like I said, it's just contract based. So just when they have students to roll around, they'll send them my way. So I'm really excited though about that. The company, they do MCAT prep, and then they also have the admissions prep. So I'll be helping students from basically A to Z. The company also has an editing team. And so as far as like editing for experiences, editing your personal statement, all of that, like they walk you through everything. And then I'll be helping out with the interviews as well, like the mock interviews. So they do like mock one-on-one interviews, which are pretty standard for a lot of medical schools, but a lot of the medical schools, they do like committee style interviews with like multiple people. And I'll be on like the committees as well to help with that. So I'm very, very excited, even though I'm like far removed from med school and my experience. Like I'm excited to know that I can still give back to the field in another way and to like really help and inspire the upcoming generation of doctors. So that's a little update I wanted to share with y'all. It's been in the works for probably like the last month, but everything just kind of got official this week. So I'm very, very excited. A lot of the students that go through this company, they are non-traditional students. So that's something that's also exciting as well. But they also have students that are currently in college and things like that. So excited about that. Louis said, congratulations. That sounds cool. And I'm glad you're still giving back through your experiences. Absolutely. Like I said, I definitely, know how to help somebody get into med school. Now, I might not be able to, help you stay per se, but I can at least get you in the door. But no, seriously, even like this year, I'll say one of my biggest accomplishments in the last year was helping a young lady from my medical school get a chance to take her MCAT the fourth time. So y'all know the biggest thing with me was that my med school did recommended the dismissal after 3 failed attempts, and of course I failed my final attempt by 1 point. But this particular student, she was in a situation where she had failed 3 tries, but technically, due to the standards for the MCAT, you are actually allowed in the state of in that particular state, you are allowed to take the MCAT 4 times. And I'm sorry, not the MCAT. I don't know why I keep saying the MCAT. You're allowed to take the STEP exam 4 times. And so she failed STEP 3 times. And she was trying to figure out how to appeal because she was not ready to go. So I will say, as far as I am aware, she is one of the first, if not the first, student at my old medical school to actually go through the appeal process and be successful as far as getting a 4th attempt. And I am happy to say that she did pass her 4th attempt on the STEP exam, and she is now enjoying her 3rd year of medical school. So that is a blessing in itself. It was a tough journey, but I was so happy to be there to support her, and that, I was the first person that she thought of. And I happened to be I happened to be not too far from her when everything happened. So I told her, I said, I'm going to drive to you and I'm just going to meet you where you're at. She was in another city. And so I ended up driving to her and we got the Starbucks and I said, you let them tears cry, but let's get this game plan together. So helped her through her appeal process. And I've helped other students as well, who have reached out through the channel with their appeal processes as well, from dental school and from medical school, and even a student that was in nursing school as well. So it has been a blessing to say the least. And it's something I just really enjoy doing because one thing I know is like how to just kind of navigate the system. Now, like I said, for me, it wasn't as transparent for my first video, but in reality, I had an opportunity to appeal as well. Even though I got the dismissal for med school, I just chose not to appeal because I felt like that journey had come to a close. But if it was, on my heart to do something else, I definitely would have appealed it. And because the standards had just changed a few months before, because if you guys remember, when I had took the actual MCAT for that third time, if I would have scored the same score 2 months prior, I would have passed, but they had just increased the bar again. And as you all know now with step one, and I'm sorry if I keep calling it MCAT, but my brain a little muddled, but with the step one as well, now it is blind test. So you don't actually get a score with it, which, has its pros and cons. And I know we had talked about it. I had did a live on it a couple years ago when they had spoke about it coming into fruition, but now that's a thing. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'll be helping students who are applying to MD schools as well as DO schools. And then not only will I be helping US citizens, I'll be helping international students and Canadian students who are trying to apply to med school in the US. So that is really exciting. I just really wanted to share that with y'all to let y'all know I am still connected to what's going on in the medical world for sure. So yeah, super, super exciting. Super exciting. But yes. So yeah, that's my updates my way. Louise, how is everything going on your end? How is everything going on your end? Because you're finished now, right? Because I think last time I was on here, I think you were going to be finishing up finals and everything, but there was like a gap between the time you were finishing and when actual graduation date was going to be. So give me a quick update, what you got going on your way. But yeah, last week I went to this circus and it was like a scary circus or whatever. It's kind of like a haunted house / circus. But one of my friends who's an influencer, she was like, "Oh, you definitely should go." She's a content creator out here. She does like world travels and stuff like that. She was like, "You should go." She went. She had a good time, and I was like, "I have no desire." But I'm so happy that I went. It was a great time. I will say, of course, the whole show was in Spanish. So it was very funny because there was just some parts where there were like jokes and I didn't necessarily understand the joke. Because there's a lot of like idioms and colloquialisms in Spanish as it is in English. So it's just some stuff that like the literal meaning makes no sense, but in Spanish, like it's a whole joke. And so I'm just like trying to laugh like I understood, and I did not understand. I did not understand, y'all. It was so funny. I was trying to make it work. I was trying my best, but yeah, I was faking it. Sometimes you got to fake it until you make it. Another thing that I found talking to my Spanish tutor, she's been fussing at me a little bit because for my Spanish, I am progressing in a lot of ways. I'll say I'm about a 3-year-old, maybe some weeks I'm about 3.5-year-old as far as like my fluency in Spanish. So like I can understand some things. I can, speak as well. But I am kind of getting comfortable out here with the friends that I have because they don't speak any English. A lot of my friends, when I'm speaking with them, it's just like I shorten a lot of things. So I might say like instead of saying like tomorrow I want to go to the store and afterwards I want to go to the park, I will say like in Spanish, I'll basically be like tomorrow, store, park. So I'm not like using complete sentences, right? And it's just easier for like all of us to communicate in that way. And they do it to me as well. Like they'll say something, they'll shorten it for me. And so like yes, it helps with like in real life conversations, but then it's like it's kind of like having me regress a little bit in my Spanish. So for the last month, I have been being extremely intentional with like speaking, in fluency and like using full sentences, if that makes sense. So yeah, Louise said, "I am graduate." Oh, you already graduated? Oh my goodness, I knew. Oh my goodness, I knew it was coming up soon. I didn't know I missed it. Okay, I graduated about 2 weeks ago. Sarah, okay, that's what it is. Okay, let me pause. Okay, I graduated about 2 weeks ago. Ceremony is at the end of spring in June, but technically I have officially graduated. Okay, I knew there was a gap from the actual like ceremony and graduation. So I'm not completely off. Okay, that is so exciting. Now I'm just working and figuring out what's next. Well, I love that for you. And you know that, the community over here on this piece of the internet, we are supporting you. We are rooting for you. And I'm sure when others see the playback, they will just have kind words as well for you. So super excited to hear that. Like it's been a long journey. Like we've really been rocking since 2018, 2019. So it's been a long time. Like, and I'm just so privileged and honored to be a part of like your journey as well. So super exciting to hear. Super exciting to hear. But yeah, y'all, that was our pretty much, those are my little small updates. I just wanted to jump on here, say hello. Like I said, I haven't decided really the schedule that I'm going to be doing as far as trying to be more consistent back on here. But I know that I'm going back to the States come June. And like I said, I'll be in the States June, July, August. Quick update with my water bill. I told y'all my water bill had got real crazy for a point in time. 1 month, my water bill was 500. Well, it started, the highest one was like 250, then it went to 500, then my water bill went to 600, and we get a water bill every month. So there was like a leak or something going on. And I will say, I'm happy to say that this month that my water bill went, she only had me pay about equivalent in US dollars. She had me pay about $30 this month. So I don't know if that represents the full bill or not, because she was just like, oh, just give me this. I was like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. So I was very happy about that. I haven't decided when I return to Mexico after going back to the States for the summer, if I'm going to return back to this particular apartment. I really do love my place, but when you start having issues, you get the questioning like, should I go somewhere else? But I had a friend that recently left my community to go to another community, and she is having so many regrets, and it's like the grass is not greener. So I think it's just going to be a matter of how this next month goes, and if there's any issues, and I don't know. I'll let y'all know. I also will say I really enjoy Cancun. Cancun is such a vibe. I really love Cancun. And so I am considering potentially going to Cancun as well. But like I said, with inflation and everything that's going on in the US, like the prices are just so much more expensive now compared to when I first moved here. So even my rent has went up like an extra $100. And that means all my other bills have as well, just because the US dollar value to the peso value is decreased right now in this current season. But yeah, so it's interesting. We're going to see. I also, plan on doing other travels. I am going to, my plan is to start the process of residency for Mexico this summer, because I do believe that I want Mexico to be my home base. But maybe I will just do my travels leaving like from Mexico, because there's a lot of countries that I want to visit that I have on my list, but I still like want to like live in Mexico, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is kind of my updates, and my phone is actually getting ready to die. So I am going to go ahead and let y'all go. But I hope you have a very, very blessed weekend. And I will be checking in next week, letting y'all know what's going on my side of the globe. All right. Bye. Have a blessed week.